Ladies and gentlemen, there is something deep within us, something restless, something that refuses to settle. It's that quiet voice that whispers in the dead of night, urging us to push forward, to break the barriers of our own limitations. It is the desire to get better. The moment we stop growing, we start fading. Life is not meant to be lived in stagnation. The world keeps moving, time keeps ticking, and if we stand still, we are not just staying in place, we are falling behind. Improvement is not a choice, it is a necessity. It is the very essence of what it means to be alive. But here's the truth, wanting to get better is not enough. The fire inside us needs fuel, it needs action, it needs persistence. How many times have we promised ourselves that tomorrow will be different, that next time we'll give it our all? Yet so often we hesitate, we delay, we wait for the perfect moment that never comes. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort of someday. It happens when we embrace the discomfort of today. The pursuit of progress is not about grand gestures or overnight transformations. It's about the small, consistent steps that no one sees. It's about choosing discipline over distraction, effort over excuses. The greats were not born extraordinary. They became extraordinary by doing the ordinary things relentlessly, day after day. Pain is part of the process. Frustration, failure, and setbacks, they are not roadblocks, they are signposts. They tell us we are on the right path. They challenge us to rise beyond who we were yesterday. Every struggle, every doubt, every fall is an invitation to become stronger, wiser, better. What separates those who grow from those who remain the same is a simple yet profound decision. The decision to try again, to show up even when it's hard, to push forward even when no one is watching. The desire to get better must be more than a thought, it must become who we are. So the question is not whether you have the potential, you do. The question is, will you answer the call? Will you embrace the discomfort of growth, or will you settle for the safety of what is familiar? Will you wake up tomorrow with the same old habits, or will you take that first step toward the person you are meant to become? This is your moment. We all dream of becoming better, of reaching new heights, of transforming into the person we know we are capable of being. But dreaming alone is not enough. Desire without action is like a fire without oxygen. It fades into nothingness. The gap between who we are and who we want to be is not bridged by mere wishes. It is built through effort, through movement, through an unshakable commitment to take that first step. How often do we tell ourselves, I'll start tomorrow? How many times have we been inspired for a moment only to let that spark fade because we never acted on it? The truth is, progress is never waiting for the perfect time. It does not knock on the door and ask if we are ready. It demands that we move, that we decide, that we take action, even when the conditions are not ideal. The greatest transformations in history did not come from those who merely wished for them. They came from those who stepped forward when they were uncertain, who acted when fear told them to stand still. Action is what separates those who achieve from those who only imagine. It is the force that turns potential into reality. There will always be reasons to wait, fear of failure, doubt, discomfort. But waiting never made anyone better. The person who hesitates remains the same, while the one who acts, despite the fear, becomes stronger. Every small step forward, every imperfect attempt, every moment of struggle brings us closer to the person we are meant to be. The desire to improve must be fueled by action, because nothing changes until we do. So the question is simple. Will we continue to wait for the right time, or will we create it? Will we remain trapped in the cycle of wanting more but doing nothing, or will we take the step, however small, that sets everything in motion? Growth is not reserved for those who are ready. It belongs to those who refuse to stand still. We often look at greatness and see only the final result, the success, the mastery, the transformation. What we don't see are the countless small steps that led there, the quiet, uncelebrated moments of effort that built something extraordinary. We tell ourselves that real change requires something dramatic, something overwhelming, something so big that it feels impossible to start. But the truth is, becoming better isn't about massive leaps. It's about small, consistent steps taken every single day. A single workout doesn't make an athlete, just as reading one book doesn't make a scholar. It's the daily practice, the repeated effort, the willingness to show up even when no one is watching that creates lasting progress. Improvement isn't something that happens overnight. It's not a sudden explosion of success, but rather a slow burn, a steady climb, a commitment to becoming just a little bit better than yesterday. The mind craves quick results, but the universe rewards patience. The person who understands this is unstoppable. They don't need immediate rewards. They don't chase shortcuts. And they don't quit just because progress feels slow. They know that every small effort adds up, that each day of discipline stacks upon the last until it becomes something undeniable. The most remarkable transformations don't come from one grand moment of effort. They come from the relentless pursuit of small improvements over time. It's easy to underestimate the power of small steps because the results aren't always visible right away. But imagine a stone cutter striking a rock. For 99 blows, nothing seems to happen. The stone remains unbroken, unchanged. But on the 100th strike, it splits in two. Was it that final blow that did it? No, it was the accumulation of every single strike before it. And so it is with progress. Each small step matters. Each repetition counts. Even when it feels like nothing is changing, even when results seem distant, every bit of effort is shaping something greater beneath the surface. So the choice is simple. Wait for the perfect moment that never comes, or start now knowing that small steps taken consistently will lead to something extraordinary. The future isn't shaped by what we do once in a while. It is shaped by what we do every single day. Growth is never found in comfort. It is easy to stay where things are familiar, where nothing challenges us, where we can predict every outcome. But nothing great has ever come from ease. The desire to get better demands that we step into discomfort, that we embrace the uncertainty, that we willingly put ourselves in situations where we are stretched, tested, and even broken down, because that is where transformation begins. The body grows stronger only when it is pushed beyond its limits. The mind becomes sharper only when it is challenged. The soul deepens only when it faces struggle. Discomfort is not a signal to stop. It is proof that we are moving in the right direction. Every time we feel resistance, every time we struggle, it is a sign that we are stepping beyond who we were yesterday. It is in these moments of difficulty that the real work happens, not when things are easy, not when everything is going smoothly, but when we are forced to dig deeper than we ever have before. The people who achieve greatness are not those who avoid discomfort, but those who seek it out. They understand that the struggle is not the enemy. It is the teacher. It reveals what we are truly capable of. It strips away weakness. It forces us to grow in ways we never would have if we stayed within our safe little worlds. The pain of progress is temporary, but the regret of never trying lasts forever. Fear tries to convince us that discomfort is a warning that we should turn back, that we should stop before it gets too hard. But the truth is, discomfort is a doorway. On the other side of fear is strength. On the other side of struggle is confidence. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every moment of personal transformation comes from a willingness to endure the discomfort that most people run from. So the question is, will we choose comfort or growth? Will we stay where it's easy, where nothing changes, where we remain the same year after year? Or will we step forward into the unknown, into the challenge, into the discomfort that will shape us into something greater? The pain of growth is nothing compared to the pain of staying the same. The path to becoming better is not smooth, but it is worth it, because on the other side of discomfort is everything we have ever wanted to become. Failure is not the opposite of progress, it is a part of it. Every mistake, every setback, every moment of struggle is not a reason to stop. It is proof that we are trying, that we are pushing beyond our limits, that we are daring to become more than we were yesterday. The road to getting better is never a straight line. It is filled with obstacles, moments of doubt, and times when it feels easier to give up than to keep going. But those who truly grow, those who truly transform, understand that failure is not a dead end. It is a stepping stone. Think of a child learning to walk. They do not take their first step and suddenly master balance. They fall again and again, but they do not stop trying. They do not decide that walking isn't for them just because they stumbled. They keep going because instinctively they know that every fall brings them closer to standing tall. Somewhere along the way, as we grow older, we lose that mindset. We start believing that failure is a sign to quit, that stumbling means we are not good enough. But the truth is, every person who has ever achieved anything great has failed more times than most people have even tried. The greatest lessons do not come from success, they come from the moments when things go wrong. Failure forces us to look deeper, to rethink our approach, to adapt, to sharpen our skills, to become stronger. It humbles us, it refines us, it prepares us for the next challenge. And if we embrace it, if we stop fearing it, we unlock the greatest secret of all. Failure is not something to avoid, it is something to use. There will be moments when we fall short, when things do not go as planned, when doubt creeps in and tells us that we should just stop. But in those moments we have a choice. We can see failure as a reason to quit, or we can see it as a lesson, a redirection, a sign that we are on the edge of a breakthrough. The only real failure is refusing to try again. The only true defeat is giving up before we have reached our potential. So the next time we stumble, the next time we fall, the next time we feel like everything is going wrong, we must remember this. Every failure is an invitation to learn, to grow, to rise, to prove to ourselves that we are stronger than we ever imagined. The path to greatness is paved with failure, but those who keep walking that path will one day look back and realize that every setback was leading them to something greater. The desire to get better is not about avoiding failure, it is about using it as fuel to become unstoppable. Every day we make choices, some are small, some are significant, but all of them shape the direction of our lives. The desire to get better is not just a feeling, it is a decision to rise above excuses, to reject complacency, to take control of our own growth, because nothing changes until we decide that it must. It is easy to look at those who have achieved greatness and believe they were destined for it, that they had some gift, some advantage, some stroke of luck that made it all happen. But the truth is they made a choice. They chose discipline over distraction, effort over comfort, growth over stagnation. And they made that choice not once, but every single day. We all have the same 24 hours, the same opportunities to learn, to improve, to take action. But what separates those who grow from those who remain the same is what they do with those hours. Do we spend them building ourselves up, or do we waste them on things that do not serve us? Do we challenge ourselves, or do we avoid discomfort? Every moment we are making that choice, whether we realize it or not. Some people wait for the perfect moment to begin. They tell themselves they'll start when they have more time, when they feel ready, when the conditions are just right. But waiting is a choice too, a choice to stay the same. There will never be a perfect moment. The only time we have is now. And every day that passes without action is a day we will never get back. Improvement is not something that happens to us. It is something we must actively pursue. It is not given, it is earned. And the only way to earn it is to decide right now that we will no longer settle for less than our potential. To make that decision every morning, in every challenge, in every moment of doubt. So what will we choose? Will we let the days pass, unchanged, unchallenged, waiting for something to happen? Or will we take control, step forward, and decide that today is the day we begin to rise? The power to get better has always been in our hands. The only question is, will we use it? No one else is responsible for our growth. No one else will wake us up in the morning and push us to chase our goals. No one else will do the hard work for us. The desire to get better is personal, and it demands something that most people avoid: self-accountability. It is the understanding that our progress, our success, our transformation is in our hands and no one else's. It is easy to look for external reasons why we are not improving. We blame circumstances, lack of resources, bad luck, or even other people. But every excuse is just another chain keeping us from growth. The truth is, no situation, no person, no obstacle has more power over our future than we do. The moment we stop looking outward for reasons and start looking inward for solutions, everything changes. We must hold ourselves to a higher standard. No one is watching when we hit the snooze button instead of starting the day with purpose. No one knows when we break our own promises to ourselves. No one sees the moments when we choose comfort over progress. But those moments matter because they define us. The greatest achievers are not those who are held accountable by others. They are the ones who hold themselves accountable, even when no one else is looking. There is a simple truth that separates those who grow from those who stay the same. Self-discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done even when we don't feel like doing it. The ability to push forward even when there's no immediate reward. The ability to take responsibility for our choices, our habits, and our future. It is not easy. It is far simpler to wait for motivation, to blame circumstances, to believe that improvement is out of our control. But that is a lie. We are responsible for our own progress. We truly desire to get better. We must stop waiting for someone to push us and start pushing ourselves. We must become the kind of person who refuses to make excuses, who refuses to settle, who refuses to let another day pass without moving forward. Every time we take ownership of our actions, every time we refuse to let excuses dictate our future, we take one step closer to the person we were meant to be. No one else can do it for us. It is our responsibility, our journey, our choice. The question is, will we rise to the challenge? There is always a reason to wait, always an excuse to put things off, always a voice in the back of our minds telling us that tomorrow will be a better time to start. But tomorrow is not guaranteed. The perfect moment will never come. The only time we have is now. And if we truly desire to get better, then waiting is not an option. Every day we delay, we lose time we will never get back. Every moment spent hesitating is a moment stolen from our future potential. The greatest mistake we can make is believing that we have endless chances, that opportunities will always be there, that we can afford to wait until we feel ready. But growth doesn't wait. Life doesn't wait. The people who succeed, who transform, who rise above are the ones who understand that the time to act is not later, it's now. Think about the dreams we've set aside, the goals we've put on hold, the improvements we've postponed. How many times have we told ourselves we would start next week? How many times have we let distractions, fear, or doubt convince us that we weren't ready? The truth is, readiness is a myth. No one ever feels completely prepared to step into the unknown, to push beyond their limits, to chase something greater. But those who get better are the ones who act despite that uncertainty. Growth begins the moment we decide to stop waiting, the moment we take that first step, no matter how small, the moment we choose progress over procrastination. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be grand. It just has to begin. Because once we start, momentum builds, one step leads to another, and before we know it, we have become someone stronger, someone wiser, someone better. There is no more time to waste, there is no more room for hesitation. Whatever we want to achieve, whoever we want to become, it starts with a single decision to act, to commit, to refuse to let another day slip by without moving forward. The future is not waiting for us. The question is, will we rise to meet it? In the end, the desire to get better is not just about improving one aspect of our lives. It is about transforming everything we are. It's about a journey that will challenge us, break us down, but also build us back stronger. The path to becoming the best version of ourselves is not easy. It demands sacrifice, discomfort, persistence, and accountability. It requires us to make the hard choice every day, to show up, to push forward, to embrace the struggle, and to keep going when the world tells us to stop. The truth is, we are capable of so much more than we realize. The only limits we have are the ones we place on ourselves. The only barriers that hold us back are the ones we allow to exist. Every day we have a choice to stay where we are, to be comfortable, to accept mediocrity, or to rise, to challenge ourselves, to grow, to become something greater than we ever thought possible. If we truly desire to get better, we must act now. We cannot afford to wait for the right time or for the perfect moment. The time is always now. Every small step, every decision, every action we take today is the foundation for tomorrow's success. The journey may be long and the road may be tough, but it is worth it, because every moment we spend striving to improve, every ounce of effort we put forth moves us closer to the person we are meant to become. So ask yourself, what is the next step you are willing to take? What is the choice you will make today to get better? The desire to improve is not enough on its own. It must be backed by action, by persistence, by the unwavering belief that we are capable of more, that we deserve more, and that we will not stop until we've reached our fullest potential. Now is the time to take that first step. No more waiting, no more excuses. This is your journey. The desire to get better begins with you, and it starts today. So rise, take action, and commit to becoming the best version of yourself, because the world needs you at your best. The desire to get better is the most powerful force we can harness in our lives. It's the spark that drives us to be more than what we are today, to challenge the status quo and push ourselves further than we ever imagined. It is not just a fleeting wish, but a deep, intrinsic motivation that pulls us toward growth, toward evolution, toward greatness. But here's the truth, desire alone will never be enough. It is the actions we take day in and day out that turn this desire into something tangible, something real. It is the small, consistent efforts, the relentless pursuit, the unwavering commitment to becoming better that truly shapes our lives. We've all experienced that initial burst of motivation when we set a new goal, embark on a new venture, or decide to improve ourselves in some way. It feels exciting at first, like we've unlocked a new chapter of possibility, but the reality is that initial excitement fades, and it's in those moments when motivation wanes that we discover what we're truly made of. The desire to get better requires more than just enthusiasm. It requires perseverance, discipline, and a deep commitment to keep moving forward, even when it feels difficult, even when we face setbacks, and even when the results seem far out of reach. It's easy to dream about becoming better, to fantasize about the future version of ourselves that has overcome all obstacles, achieved all goals, and is living the life we've always imagined. But dreams don't create change, actions do. It's the choices we make every single day, the habits we form, and the decisions we take that turn our dreams into reality. Every moment of self-doubt, every moment of struggle is an opportunity to grow. It's in those moments when we decide to keep going, to push through the discomfort, that we are forging the strength, resilience and discipline that will ultimately lead to success. As we strive to improve, we must remember that growth is rarely linear. It's not a straight path with constant progress. It's a series of peaks and valleys, of successes and failures, of triumphs and setbacks. But the key to growth is to keep going. It's to refuse to let the inevitable setbacks and failures define us, because failure is not the end, it is simply a stepping stone on the path to improvement. Every failure, every mistake teaches us something. It shows us what didn't work and opens the door for us to try a new approach. Without failure, there is no real learning. Without mistakes, there is no true growth. So we must embrace failure, learn from it, and use it as fuel to propel us forward. The desire to get better also requires accountability, especially to ourselves. No one else can walk this journey for us. No one else can take our steps for us. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or even the world around us for our lack of progress. But the truth is, the power to change our lives lies in our hands. If we want to improve, we must take full ownership of our growth. We must hold ourselves accountable for every action, every decision, and every step we take. We must be honest with ourselves about what we are doing or not doing to make progress. Accountability is the bedrock of personal growth because it forces us to confront our excuses, overcome our fears, and step into the responsibility of shaping our own futures. It's also essential to understand that improvement is not about perfection. It's not about achieving some ideal version of ourselves where we've mastered everything and have no more room to grow. Improvement is a continuous process. It's about becoming 1% better every day. It's about committing to the journey, not the destination. The desire to get better is not a pursuit of perfection, but of progress. It's about striving to be better than we were yesterday, to learn, adapt and grow with every experience, every challenge and every victory, no matter how small. As we continue on our journey of self-improvement, we must remember that there is no finish line. The desire to get better is an ongoing process, a lifelong commitment to growth. The pursuit of excellence is not a destination, but a journey that never ends. And that is the beauty of it. The more we strive, the more we improve, the more we uncover about ourselves, and the more we realize that the possibilities are endless. There is no limit to the growth we can achieve, no boundary to the person we can become. The time to start is now. The desire to get better will remain nothing more than a thought, a hope, a wish, unless we act on it. Every day that passes without taking action is a day we will never get back. The power to change, to grow, to become better is within us, but it requires action, it requires decisions, it requires us to stop waiting for the perfect moment, to stop making excuses and to take the first step, no matter how small it may seem. In every moment we choose to act, every moment we choose progress over complacency, we are moving closer to our potential. There is no time to waste, no room for hesitation. The person you are capable of becoming is already inside you, waiting to be unlocked. The world needs you to be the best version of yourself, and the only way to become that person is by making the decision to improve today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for circumstances to change. Start now. Step into your potential. Embrace the challenges, and most importantly, commit to the journey of getting better. Because when you do, nothing will be impossible.